welcome to CEC lectures. Myself Dr. Preeti Jagwani from Department of Computer Science, Arithmetic College, University of Delhi. So in our previous lecture we have started with SQL, and after understanding the basic and parts of SQL, we have seen one particular construct which is, or one particular command we can say, which was about the create table, and that falls under the category of your data definition languages. Now apart from that create table, many things which we need to do with the tables or the relations are about, now we have created the structure of the table using the create table command, and now we want to obviously insert some data into that, and we want to delete some data from that, or we can always delete the table. We will be covering all these things in this particular lecture. So in order to update the table, we will be taking two basic commands. As of now, we will be taking two basic commands. One is insertion and another one is deletion. So here insertion and deletion, what I am talking about is about insertion and deletion of the tuples, not the insertion and deletion of the table itself, because insertion and deletion of the table comes under the category of DDL, while insert and delete command for tuples or for data comes under the category of your manipulation languages, DML. So here we will be taking insert command in order to insert one particular tuple into a relation. So insert into the name of the relation, which is instructor, then we will write values, and within the bracket we will be inserting the values which are appropriate for that particular data type in sequence. So for example, 10211 will be taken as ID, then name will be taken as Smith, then your department name is biology, and please remember that this department name is actually a foreign key which is being referenced from the table department. And then we have the salary. So insert into instructor values and then the appropriate values within the parenthesis. So by this we can insert many values or as many as we want values or tuples in our tables. Now if we want to delete a tuple from a particular table, that we will be taking one particular tuple from table deletion. Deletion of one particular tuple from the table will be taken in our in our upcoming slides. So presently if we want to remove all the tuples from the relation, let us say student, or let us say from the instructor, so we will be writing delete from the table name, that is delete from student or delete from instructor. So that is what about deletion of the tuples, deletion of all tuples from the student relation. If we want to delete the table or delete the relation itself, we will not be using the command delete, instead we will be using the command drop. So drop table and whatever the name is. So for example, drop table instructor, or we will say drop table student, that is for deletion of the table. So with this, let us move to the we have created the structure of a table, then we have also we have seen that how to delete a complete table. Now what if we want to change the database, change the schema of the table or the relation. So for example, we need to change the table R, and we want to add one more field, add one more attribute to this relation R. So the command here will be alter table R. If we want to insert the if we want to add the attribute, we will be writing add AD. A, as you know, is the name of the attribute to be added to the relation, and D is the domain of A, and all the existing tuples. For example, we have, let us say, 4 tuples already inserted within this relation R. will have null values for this particular attribute A. So, all the existing tuples in the relation are assigned null as the values for the new attributes. This is about altering the table in one dimension is as one of its dimensions, like adding one particular attribute. Now, we can also write if we want to drop a particular attribute, or if we want to delete a particular attribute, then also we need to use the command alter table, and the table will be alter table r drop A, where A is the name of the attribute of the relation R. So, we can write alter table instructor drop salary, where salary is the name of the attribute of the relation instructor. But please be careful that dropping of attribute is not supported by many of the databases. So, we have seen that how to create a particular relation, then how to alter the structure of the relation by alter table command, either by we can say adding a new attribute or dropping an attribute, or even we have also seen two very small commands of insertion and deletion of data within the table. Now, we can say yes, we are comfortable with, or we all are aware that we all are aware of the basic operations of creation of table and as well as of populating that particular table with the appropriate data. So, we have created the table. If we want any modification, we can do that using alter table command. We can insert some tuples, or we can also delete some tuples by using delete command. Delete all tuples, because some tuples that condition we have not covered yet. Now, we have made it, we have designed it, and we have populated it. Why we have done it? The only simple thing here is that we need to such a database which can be queried. That means we need to put up a question, and that answer or that information has to be retrieved, or information has to be extracted from there. So, for that we need to go into another query, which is the most basic query in our SQL, and that query is known as the select construct. So, basically a typical SQL query as in when I am talk about query in a very particular or in a very specific sense, that means that query is something which is putting a question and extracting the answer from that. So, here we can say a typical SQL query will be having the form select A1, A2 till AN. This, and I hope you understand, this A1, A2 till AN are actually the names of the attributes from. There can be one relation or more than one relation, that is why it is written as R1, R2 till Rm, where P. Now, let us try to understand what is this. So, select AI represents the attributes, it could be one or more than one attributes, then Ri represents the relation from which these attributes are to be taken away, attributes are to be we can say extracted. Then there is a P, which is a predicate, or we can say it is a condition which is to be satisfied. Now, what is going to be the result of this particular SQL query? The result of this particular SQL query will be a relation. Now, let us see it further. So, the select clause basically is going to list the attributes desired in the list of a query, and these attributes you can say they corresponds to the projection operation of relational algebra that we have seen in our previous lecture. So, for example, the simplest one could be select name from instructor. So, basically we are actually trying to select the name field from that instructor relation, and please be careful that your SQL names are case insensitive, or we can say your SQL names are not case sensitive, that is you can use either uppercase or lowercase letters both. So, when we say select name from instructor, that means from relation R the whole field, which is the name field, will be displayed onto the screen. Now in this, the SQL allows duplicates in relation as well as in query results. So duplicates in relations are allowed, as well as duplicates if available in query results are also allowed. Now it is up to you that if you want to eliminate the duplicates or if you want to include the duplicates, both are possible. Now in order to force the elimination of duplicates, insert the keyword distinct after select. So the query goes like this: select distinct department name from instructor. So from instructor, department name column or department name field will be we can say extracted, but only distinct names will be we can say displayed here, because we have put in a keyword which is distinct. So in order to find the department names of all the instructors along with the removal of duplicates, we will be writing select distinct department name from instructor. Now if we do not want to remove the duplicates, that means we want to include the duplicates, then we can specify the keyword, that is all. So we will be writing select all department name from instructor. So if we are going to write it in this way, all the department names, even if they are duplicate, will be shown as the result. Now this select clause, here in our previous example we have given the name of a particular attribute. So for example, we have given the department name, or we have given select name from the instructor. So the name or select department name from the instructor. So name or department name here are actually the we can say fields name which are to be extracted, which are to be displayed as a result. Now if we really want to we can say include all the your fields inside the result relation, we can use star. So star, as in star is used for all. So we can say a star in the select clause denote all attributes. So if we are writing select star from instructor, that means each and every value and each and every attribute inside this instructor relation will be selected if we write select star from instructor. Now when we talk about the names of the attributes, we have to be cautious about that. An attribute can be a literal with no from clause. So for example, if I am going to write, let us say select 437, and this 437 in the single inverted comma. So what are we going to get as a result? So result will be a table with one column and a single row with value 437, and if we, so here column will be 1 and the value will be 437. Now what if we want to name that particular column, we want to give that column a name. So we can give that the column name using as. So select 437 as dummy. So when we say that select 437 as dummy, then in that situation your result will be a table with one column, and name of that particular column will be dummy, and the value of that particular column will be 437. So here we have used the attributes with your we can say with the names, or we have also used attributes as the literals with no from clause. There is no from clause, and then that is why they are literals here. Literals actually mean you mean a literal is actually a constant, we can say. So if we want to use attribute as a constant, we can use the we can remove or we can skip the from clause. Now this an attribute can be a literal with a from clause also. So in the previous example we have seen a attribute as a literal without the from clause, but we can also have an attribute as a literal with the from clause. So we will be writing for this, we will be writing select A from instructor, and here the result will be a table with one column is only one, and n rows, and each row will be having the value A, or the data inside each row will be A. And what is this number n? This number n is actually number of tuples in the instructor table. So for example, if we have given 6 tuples inside the instructor table, we are going to have a column with 6 rows, and each and every row is having this value as A. So we can use select clause for extracting the we can say fields or columns. We can also use this select clause in order to make an attribute as a literal, that can be done with the along with the from clause, or with the from clause, or without the from clause. Now if we talk about this select clause is very rich in terms of we can say variations and modifications. Many variations and modifications can be done, and that we will be taking in a short while. One of them is this select clause can contain arithmetic expressions, and these arithmetic expressions can involve the operations of plus, minus, multiplication, division, which are addition, subtraction, multiplication, division. This can have these operations can be operated either on the attributes of tuples, or they can be operated on constants as well. Now let us see how this can be done. So for example, we are going to write a query which says select ID comma name comma salary divided by 12 from instructor. Please recall that in instructor table we have 4 attributes. One is ID, another one is name, next is department name, and the fourth one is salary. So here we have not taken all. If we need to have all, we can write star, we can use the character star, we can write select star from instructor. But here we do not want, let us say we do not want that department name. So we will be writing select ID name, and salary we want to kind of we want to see the figure of the salary divided by 12. So for example, assuming we have in the table we have quoted the salary which is the annual salary, and I want the salary as the monthly salary. So that has to be divided by 12. So we can write select ID name salary divided by 12 from instructor. So in the result you are going to have the values inside the tuples, and the name of the attributes will be ID name and salary divided by 12. It is not going to be the salary, it will be displayed as salary divided by 12. Now this salary divided by 12 seems kind of we can say weird. So the appropriate name here is monthly salary. So what do we need to do? What do we want to do? We actually want to rename this salary divided by 12 using a particular clause, or using some technique we can say. So we need to rename the salary divided by 12, and that can be done using the as clause. So we will be writing select ID name salary divided by 12 as monthly salary. Now I have put in a we can say underscore, because it should not the attribute name should not have the blank. So select ID name salary divided by 12 as monthly salary. So here we have done two, in this last command we have done two things. One is we have taken an operation of division which is operating on the value of the attributes, or we can say the data value which is stored inside the database, and also we have renamed that particular attribute also. So, I was saying that this select clause is actually a very rich clause in terms of modifications and variations if we talk about. So, this select clause till this point we have seen multiple variation inside this select clause. One which is very important here is using where clause along with this select. So, for example, till this point we have seen how to extract or how to display all the attributes. Then we have seen how to display some of the attributes by specifying the name. Then we have seen how to operate, how to use mathematical arithmetic operations onto the value of attributes. Now, what if we do not want to see all the rows? So, for example, we want to see some of the rows where a particular clause is being satisfied. Now, let us say the clause here is we want to see all those instructor who are from computer science. So, in this situation we will be using where clause. So, this where clause actually specifies the conditions that the result must satisfy, and if there is no row which is satisfying that particular result, the answering or the resultant relation is a blank relation. And to find all the instructor in a computer science department from that particular table of instructor, we will be writing select name from instructor where department name is equals to computer science. So, what does this essentially means? We are looking for the names, only the names of all those instructors who belong to computer science department. So, select name, or we can say select name comma salary if we want to have a look at salary also. So, we will be saying select name comma salary, or even other attributes here you can specify. So, select name from instructor where department name is equals to computer science. So, all these instructors whose department is computer science will be displayed in the result, but only the names, because that is the projection we have specified. Now, not only just this thing, but we can also use logical connectives, we can use AND, OR and NOT, and these comparison results can be combined. So, for let us take an example here. To find all the instructors in computer science department with salary greater than 80,000. So, I need just the name of all the instructor in the computer science department where whose salary is greater than 80,000. So, the we can say this command will be select name from instructor where department name equals to computer science and salary greater than 80,000. So, we have used here two conditions in our where clause, and we have combined them using logical connectives. So, one is about department name is equals to computer science, and another is salary greater than 80,000. So, comparisons can be applied to the results of arithmetic expressions also. That is also we can say it is allowed. So, here in this way we can make our where clause more rich. So, if you remember the previous lecture in which we have studied relational algebra, we have seen many relational algebra operations which are your kind of we can say there were set operations, set difference operations. There was one of the operations which are which is about the Cartesian product operation, and so on and so forth. So, till this point we have only seen the select clause, which is about displaying the displaying the data which is which may be in the form of projection, that means taking all the fields or taking some specific fields. Then we have also seen the constraints of putting the where clause, in which we are going to specify the condition for the value of tuples, we can say. So, this we have seen. Select clause, as I have already told you, that it is very rich in terms of variations, we can say. So, we can use multiple we can obtain multiple fields from that. We can obtain all fields, or we can also have a single field. We can have uh, these literals in the form of attributes along with the name, along or without the name. We can also specify the where clause, in which we will be specifying some selection predicate, or we can say some selection clause, which is to be satisfied by the result. So, in this lecture we have begin with the first or the most primary command, which is the select command, and in the previous before this select command we have also seen some drop table command, we have also seen alter table command and insert and delete commands. So, here we have started with we can say SQL, and we have just seen a very basic command of SQL. More commands are to be covered in our upcoming lectures. Here is a list of references which is being used for the preparation of the lecture. Hope you have enjoyed one. Thank you for a patient hearing.